Jake, why does this sledgehammer have measurements on it? Oh, what's your best guess? He says, I have no goddamn idea. Why do you think this has measurements on it? Why do you guys think that's on there? To tell me where to put my hand at, maybe? I don't know. No idea? This is new, you haven't seen this. We keep making these things better. Just laying in bed one night, I'm like, how do I get rid of the tape measure? I can just say, I do not use a tape measure. Now, I do not need a tape measure at all to build this entire job. That was the only time I ever used a tape measure, was to check that reveal right there to get it right. Now we don't have to. The magic number is 12. Chris, guess.
Oh, boy, look at that.
Woo!
Yeah.
See? You don't even need that no more. Throw it away. Send it. All right, I borrow that for a moment, sir. So at this point in the game is right about now when the homeowner comes running outside the house going,
Whoa, 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 hey, hey, hey.
It's not gonna look like that, is it? No, it's not. Just relax for a second. Let us do our job. So if you look at the top roll of this fence, for those of you guys that are not accustomed to dry packing, you might be have a little anxiety looking at that thing like, it doesn't look good, right? I agree with you, it doesn't look good. Part of the problem is we have multiple people setting posts that they didn't own their holes, and so you're seeing a lot of the inconsistencies. Generally, with a 3-man team or 4-man team, these guys are good enough that when they get done running rails, they're just making a slight adjustment. But don't worry, we can fix all this. But here's some very critical pieces to this step. You need a sight person, okay, or 2. You need somebody to work the thumper, or 2, okay? But at a minimum, you need 2 people, all right? This is very difficult and slow to do by yourself. Can you get it close by yourself? Sure. If you're waiting on a co-foreman to finish railing and you want to get a jump start and you see a couple high ones anyways, go knock them down. Okay, cool, do it. But don't waste your time going back and forth down the line, hit a post, walk to the prospective point, look at it again, and go back and forth. This is where you need the battle buddy. This is the time where you need that second guy, okay? To get those points lined in. Now, the thing about what we're building here, everything's top-down construction, so hopefully now this will make some sense to you guys. When I say top-down construction, we're not cutting any posts off. So everything we measured down, either with the X-Men or with the straightaway, or somehow we measured going down, so we're not cutting anything off, just like vinyl and aluminum. Here's the magic number, and this key thing, this is on the test. What is the magic number? Magic number is 12 inches. By design, we did it on purpose so that it makes sense. 1 foot to the top of this bottom rail right here, that's the magic number. What does that mean? At 12 inches, that means that your fence with a 7-inch reveal is going to be how far off the ground?
1 inch.
1 inch. 1 inch. Money. All right, ideally that's what we want. We really don't want the fence on the ground, but we also don't want the fence to follow the ground, so sometimes it's gonna kiss the ground. Sometimes we're gonna have a gap under it. So if the top of this rail is at 14 inches, how high is it, or how much gap is underneath the picket? 3 inches, all right? In our world, we find it acceptable to go up to 3. Anything after that, we gotta ask the homeowner or fill it in. That's works for us, okay? So ideally, we're looking for 1 inch, but we're okay with going to 3. Now, how do we know when it's gonna be 3 inches or 0? Well, what we look for is we wanna try to flatten out the earth. I want you guys to think about this way. We get the yard kind of contours down the hill, but it also contours and does this along the way. I don't want my fence to do that. So I want to go with the terrain and I want to flatten it out. That means that anywhere that there's a hump in the yard, I want my magic number to be what? If there's a hump in the yard, 11. Because 11 means what? The pick is on the ground. If I have a dip in the ground, a hole, a shallow spot, whatever you want to call it, what should my dimension be to the top of the rail? 14, 13, 14. I know at that point I'm getting that 3 inch mark, okay? Does this make sense? So before you start this process, I walk the line and I literally just look and find my high spots or my low spots and I make a control point there. All right, so in this yard, if I were to look at this line, right there where Chris Gass is the fence kind of breaks right there, right? So at that point, what do I want my number to be right there?
11.
Between 11 and 12. This has a nice roll, so I might well go with 12 the whole way. But I definitely don't want what?
14.
14. All right, so it's kind of a control point. I get my, yes sir. That's a great point. If you know they're bringing in sod, you want to leave more gap down there, right? So your magic number for you at that point might be 13. It's a great thing to think about, right? The first 2 posts I want to get right is the first and last post of my line. So right there where Dustin's at, I want to make sure that post is money at, might be 12. It also could be in a part of the yard that dips up, so I might make that 11, right? Looking at what my terrain is. Get that one down there with the way it looks, probably gonna be at 12. Is that first one at 12? It's a little high. Get those 2, the height, and then find out where my yard breaks and get that one right. Then the rest of it is all done by eye. From a perspective point, and that perspective point is back there by where Colin is. Everybody else, where you are right now, is not going to work to see this top line. You don't do this from out there. You don't do it from right there. You gotta be down there so you can see the roll. You see this top edge of this rail. Okay, whether it's wood, vinyl, aluminum, chain link, it's all done the same way. Perspective point down there. Sometimes the line's so long you have to go to the other end to kind of see back. And that's fine, flip sides. Okay, when we use the thumper, we want to make sure that we're making contact as flat as possible. So I want this post to feel the impact. So I want to make sure I'm hitting it flat, okay? That's why it's designed with that large head. That's why there's metal inside there, slag, so we get that dead blow effect, okay? But that's very important. That's why the handle's angled so that I can naturally stand here and hit that post flat. Flat on it. I do not want to do this. That's what I'm talking about. We don't want to do that. All that's going to do is just lose the energy absorbed into the surface you're hitting. Now, this is brand new. This is the first one we've done this on. So I used to use a tape measure for one thing only, and that was to measure the magic number that I just told you guys about. Now, with this guy, I don't have to carry on a tape measure. What's my magic number?
I need that. 12.
See what I'm saying? It tells me. So now I don't get a tape measure out and check and bend over. I'm already carrying the thumper anyways, right? What do you guys think it's at? 13? You can't use a block on the corner.
No, you can't. You'll figure that one out next.
Couple, what's that?
Get up on top.
Yeah. I like to get on top. You don't have to get on top, but I'm old and I don't like swinging this thing a whole lot. You can't use a protector on the corner post. So we need to be careful and hit it flat. 12 and a half? Yeah. Trying to be easy. I don't like not hitting it without the protector on there. You good? And then rotate it. We're about 12 and a half. I'm not gonna stress over it. I'm good with it. That's high. And I wanna leave that like it is and roll it in, okay? So now I'm gonna go down there where Trev is. Right here. Go on the inside. So right here, guys, I'm just checking to make sure we're at 12. Make sure I'm virgin ground. So don't go right by the post. So we go a little bit away from the post because you got the dirt spoiled by the post. Something like that. So we're actually 11 and a half, a little low.
So it needs
Which,
to go down.
well, that's a good conversation. What did we say earlier? Somebody said 11, and I said, or maybe 12, right? But it is a high spot. So I kind of do want to make sure this is as low as possible. 11 and a half, that's probably good, right? Kiss the ground, we'll be a little bit off the ground. So I'm saying good here. We'll check that corner, and then the rest of it's gonna be done by eye. 13. Do we like it at 13 or we want it lower? Think about what does it matter. We're coming down. We're trying to straighten the earth out, right? So we're low here. We want to be
As high as we can.
a little higher down here. Maybe not quite as high as we can, but 13 is actually going to help us pretty good, brother. Because 12 would make it dive off more, right? And I don't think we got to be as aggressive and get to 14. So this one's good. We know that one's good. And the first one's good. So now at this point, we're going to go to perspective point and just sight this in, okay? Okay, so look right here, guys. Come around here. You got to see this before we... I'm going to show you here, and then you guys are going to go spread out and practice, play, okay? But where Colin is, I want you guys to look from right here, take turns. I'm serious. Come here and see it. And before we change this, look at the top of this fence. because it won't take us a couple minutes to make this look really good. You guys look at the top of this fence right now. You see how jagged it is? Right? You guys see that? Where's my new guy at? My new guy, I'm gonna pick right here, my man. What's your name?
Cam.
Cam, come here. Cam is gonna make this fence look perfect. I got faith in you can do this, okay? Cam's like, damn it. All right, come right here.
I'm good.
Okay, you ready? So your goal, Cam, is to kind of look at this from this plane on down. You tell me which ones look high or low. So this first post, put your hands on it, Kat. How do you, just quick reference, like what do you think?
I'm all right there.
Yeah, so keep going. So no, you stay here. You're gonna tell them.
Basically telling me what I need to do with this one.
Anything, nothing.
That one stays.
That one stays. Go. Probably up a touch, right?
Go.
Tell him his measurement. Show him how to use that sledge. That's what I thought.
Pickets on the ground there.
So up.
Up a little bit.
So up a little bit. That's going to be a little bit of shake. Pull it up. We're going to re-tamp that, okay? Let that concrete get on that post. Don't go too much. It's more work. You shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. That dry packing doesn't work, does it? Can't believe it. Come on now, Chris. Are you even lifted?
Oh, incredible hug.
Yeah, I think I tamped that one.
Did you tamp that one? Up a little more. One more. Up. Whoa, easy, killer. Down.
There you go.
Up. Down. All right, see how he's doing that right there? Up, down, up, down. You can feel that concrete fall on that post. That is very important. We want the concrete to fall under the post. Perfect. Now, I like where that is, but now we gotta come back and move this one and the one next to it. Make sense? So go ahead and come back one.
Wait, why we gotta move that one up though?
You're gonna see here in a second, because we know that one down there we just moved is money. This one's money. You see the dip?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move it. It's down. Down. Good. Go down to where my man is, where Horner Brothers. Yep. Up, right? You see it?
We tamped them heavily.
I cannot believe that concrete got hard already. Must have been water in the ground. You guys water those? Down. Whoa.
That looks pretty.
You see how this is coming together? Like it's that easy, right? Down. You see that? Just a touch, right? So it's down just a little bit. We're looking like 1/4 inch.
12 inch.
Yep, down. Hit it flat. One more time. Again. Hit it harder. Hit it harder. Ooh, there you go. That was a good smack. Yep, again. Okay.
Did it move?
Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna come back. I see one here. It's a little low. Yep. We'll fix that. How does it look going over the hill? So let's keep looking at it. Guys, don't be too picky. We're gonna go. I'll pass all the way through and then come back one more time. Okay? Because this one here is a little low, right, guys? Yep. But I can't see the break. You see that? It's hard for me to see from back there, so I'm walking this way over the break. Sometimes you'll hop up here. There you go. Hop up there like that. Stand on that bottom rail.
He's so tall.
I know. So this one right here needs to go which way? Yep. When you're giving commands to your team members on what to do, you need to be very loud, clear, and precise. Like, tell them. Because they're wondering down there what to do. Ooh, there you go. Good. Now what do you think? Okay. So let's go back down here and fine tune this last one here real quick. So what he's seeing, what Cam is seeing, the rail has a dip in it. So got to be careful with that, because the rail 2x4 is a dip. We got to look at the points where the rail intersects each other. Because that little dip in that rail will be hidden because the straightaway is going to run straight from point to point, and our pickets are going to be nice and straight. They're not going to follow the dip in the rail. Okay? All right. So this looks pretty good, right? If you can't see the top rail like me, you can get right down here and look at the middle rail. All right? Now, we're not done. We need to tamp the ins and outs. This is every time the same way. Do ins and outs, and then look at the heights one more time, because when you pull those posts in line, it'll actually change the height a little bit. All right? Let's do ins and outs together 3 times each. So this process is the same every time. They're going to tamp together 1, 2, 3, and they're going to look at me. Wait, you're good? Go ahead. Good. So all we're doing right now is I want to make sure the fence looks straight, and all of them are getting tamped because we moved them. Keep going. And if you got to, come on, Bridger, come on down here so you can see over the curl, over the roll. Stand up on that rail. Stand up on that rail. You want to see on top. Move on down. You probably can't see that top right there. You need to see over the top of that down the hill. This is very important that you guys don't skip the step right here of tamping these posts. We've already shook them. We loosened it up. We need to recompact that. Don't skip this step. We're going to do this one more time after the pickets are done and we're cleaning up, getting out of here. We're going to go through it one more time and sight down it and make sure that all those pickets, everything looks nice and straight. But notice what we are not using to plumb these up. What are we not using?
A piece of string.
Or level. No level and no string to be used on this process. All that's going to do is take your imperfections and exaggerate them at the top of the post. Just make the fence straight. That's what everybody's going to judge it on when they look at it. When the pickets are warped, we still don't want to use a level because we want to use a 6 foot reference point, which is that post, right? That post is level, so we make the picket parallel with that. Even a warped picket, I can pick the best average and get it level, plumb, right? Fair enough? Okay, so now that we did that, the ins and outs are done. Look at the sight line one more time. Somebody from back there, Cam, look at it and tell me if there's any imperfection in that line. The whole group, all you fence ninjas here right now, tell me, does that not look smooth or not? He goes, it is. So ins and outs, but look at the roll. Because that roll, guys, is going to be the exact same roll your pickets are going to be at. We are not going to hide anything with a string line. This is a big critical part to this process when you go back home and teaching your team members on how to roll the fence. Am I right?
That is correct.
This is a key piece, so please ask questions if it doesn't make sense.
Maybe not hide it with a string line.
Good call. So with a string line, sometimes if there's a dip in the fence, like we had a dip earlier, they would put a picket here temporarily with a nail in the top, hook the string to it, put a picket down there, hook a string to it, pull it tight, and it skips over this one and this one, and it's nice and straight, right? But on the inside of the fence, the pickets are straight, but your rails go like this. There's no need for that. All you're doing is hiding imperfections. That, what we just did, guys, should typically take 5 minutes. 10. It's not long. When you get a team working together, it doesn't take long at all. I really want you guys to separate, go out with these academy instructor guys, and go level those fence lines out. Make sure that we're between that magic number of 12. Balance, 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 balance. Balance! Boom!